Hello friend, I am Naval. You are watching Code with Naval. Welcome to Java series part 86. In the last video we saw stack class. In this video we are going to discuss about cursors. Okay. Till now we saw all list implemented classes and we saw how to add data, how to add element on those implemented classes. So let's consider we have one class, one list class, and there we added 1000 record. Now my requirement is I want those record one by one. Okay, so how can we get those record one by one? For that we use a cursors. Here we have a few types of cursors and we use those cursors and we get a one by one record. If you want to retrieve object one by one from collection, then we can use the cursors. In a Java, there are three cursors available. First one is the enumeration, then iterator, then list iterator. Okay, let's discuss one by one. First one is the enumeration. This introduced in a Java 1.0 version. Okay, and this one introduced in a old version. That's why this enumeration only used with the old classes, only used with the legacy classes. We can use the enumeration with a vector. We can use the enumeration for a get one by one object from old collection classes. We can create an enumeration object using a vector element method. Inside a vector have element method. We can use that method and we can create a enumeration object. You can see here, first we create here vector object, then we create a enumeration object with the help of element method. And this enumeration provide only two method. Here we can perform only read operation. Okay, so let's first we will discuss this enumeration practical, perform this enumeration practical. Okay, let's open Eclipse and I'll simply create here a new class and I'll give this class name is part 86 and let's create here main method. Inside the main method I'll create a simple vector object, vector, and this one should be generic. You can create a generic or non-generic, but I prefer to create a generic. V equal to new vector. Okay, and inside a vector we will simply store few record. V dot add element. I'll simply create a B C D like this element. I'll simply store A, then copy few more time, then here we simply add B, then here C, then D and E. Okay, so here we happily store this record, this 5 record. Now I want to retrieve this record one by one. So how can we retrieve this record? Here for retrieving a vector record, here Java cursor provider enumeration interface. Okay, here we saw this enumeration interface. We can use this enumeration interface for retrieving one by one record. So let's create an enumeration object. Here you can see enumeration, and this one also I'll create a generic EV. I'll simply give this EV equal to V dot element method. Okay, here we simply create this enumeration object. Now I want to retrieve one by one. Okay, I want one by one record. So first check what inside the enumeration class, enumeration interface. Okay, you can see this enumeration is the interface and this enumeration not implemented or not extended any class. And inside the enumeration only two method. First one is has more element. This method return a boolean type. If more element available, then it will return a true, otherwise it will return a false. And then second method next element, this simply return a next element. Okay, so let's use those method and retrieve all this. Okay, all this element. I'll simply use here while loop, simple while loop, and inside the while here we write a condition EV dot has more element. If more element available, then return that element. Okay, we'll simply print that element ev dot next element. Okay, let's save this and let's run this, and here you can see. Okay, let's save and run this. Here you can see, here we get all element a b c d e. Here we simply check, first we check if there is a more element available or not. If available, then we simply print those element. Enumeration interface only provide these two method. That's why we can only perform this operation. Only we can perform a retrieval operation using a enumeration. Okay. Then second we have a iterator. Okay, let's check iterator. What is iterator cursor? We can use the iterator with any collection object. Iterator is a universal cursor. Okay, here we first check enumeration. Enumeration only use with the legacy classes, but iterator we can use iterator with any collection class. Iterator is a universal cursor. We can use it with any collection class. By using iterator, we can perform both read and remove operation. We can create an iterator object using a iterator method. It's present in a collection interface. Here you can see in this example, we simply create an array list object. Then we create an iterator object by using this iterator method. And here we have a three method: has next, next, and remove. Okay, let's perform practically. Okay, I'll simply create here. I'll keep this as it is, and I'll simply add here star. Okay, it should be, this one is a enumeration example, and this one is a iterator. I'll simply create for first array list. This one should be, I'll define this one also generic al equal to new array list, and here also we add a same record. We'll simply add al dot add a. Okay, let's semicolon. I'll simply copy this record few more time, and we will simply replace this content. Okay, a, then b, then c, d, e, and f. Okay, now I want to print this record one by one using a iterator cursor. Okay, using a iterator cursor. So how can we create an iterator object? By using a iterator method. Okay, so let's create an iterator object. Okay, iterator string, and I'll simply give it equal to al dot iterator. Okay, here we create our iterator object. Then we are simply use. Okay, let's first check what inside the iterator. I'll simply press Ctrl O, and here you can see next, has next, next, remove, and this one for each remaining. Okay, this three method. Has next simply return a boolean type. If there is a next element, then it will return a true, and this next simply return a next object value, and this remove simply remove that element. Okay, so let's do here. First thing, I'll simply use here while loop, while ti. Okay, ti dot next element has next. Okay, has next simply return a true if next element available, and here we simply print system.out.println ti dot next. Okay, then let's print. Okay, I'll simply add here, then we get idea, or I'll simply add here. Okay, system.out.println, and this one is the iterator. Okay, let's save this, run this, and you can see this first result we get from enumeration, this second we got from iterator. Okay, now I want a remove element. Okay, once print this, I want remove some specific element. Okay, so how can we remove? I'll simply use here if condition, and I'll simply use here if any find. Okay, or we can simply directly remove. Okay, I'll directly remove. Okay, we'll do one thing. I'll simply create here a string variable ss equal to ti dot next. Okay, let's copy this, paste here, and instead of directly printing, we will first store that value in this string variable, and then we print here. And here we simply add a condition if ss dot equal c. Okay, c, then remove this element. Okay, then ti dot remove. Okay, whenever we get this c element, then remove that element. And let's print this object. After removing this, I'll simply print this al. Okay, directly we will print object here 𝗧𝗢𝗩𝗘𝗥𝗘𝗗. Let's save this and run this. You can see here first we get each and every element those present inside this al object a b c d e f. And here when here we write a condition, whenever we get this c, then remove that element. Okay, you can see after removing, we print directly, we print object, and here we don't get c. Okay, because here we remove that element. Okay, so this one is a iterator. So but there is some limitation. Okay, let's discuss about those limitation. Iterator have some limitation. Enumeration and iterator are a single directional cursor. We can move only forward direction. We can only iterate a next element. We can't iterate, or we can't check a previous element. Okay, that's the problem iterator with iterator and enumeration. Using enumeration, we can perform only read operation. Okay, using enumeration, we can perform only read operation. Using iterator, we can perform a read and a remove operation. Here we don't get any method for add, update, or move backward direction. We can, using iterator and enumeration, we can only move forward direction, first thing, and second thing, we can only read and remove. Okay, remove also only present inside a iterator. Okay, we can only perform a read and a remove. Here we don't get any method for add new element, for update existing element. Okay, here we have a third list iterator. This list iterator is the most powerful cursor. Okay, let's discuss about list iterator. We can create a list iterator object using a list iterator. It present in a list interface. Okay, list iterator, we can use a simply list iterator method, and we can create a list iterator object. List iterator is a child interface of iterator. By default, all iterator method here and some additional method its own. List iterator is a child interface of iterator interface. Okay, that's why by default all iterator method present here, as well as some additional method. List iterator own additional method also present here. By using a list iterator, we can move forward direction, or we can move backward direction. List iterator is a bidirectional. Okay, list iterator is the most powerful cursors, but its limitation is it's only applicable for a list implemented classes. It's not a universal cursor. If you want to use a cursor in any collection class, then we have only option iterator. But if you want to use a iterator, if you want to use a cursor with only list interface classes, list child classes, then we can use a list iterator. Okay, list iterator is a not universal cursor. That's why we can use a list iterator only list implemented classes. Okay, let's see list iterator with a practically. Okay, I'll simply comment here. I'll simply copy this and paste here, and let's create a, this time we will create a linked list. Okay, linked list string, and here ll equal to new linked list. Okay, and I'll simply copy this all, because linked list also uses same add method, okay, for adding a data. And simply here we use a linked list. Here we start linked list, and instead of al we have to replace here ll. Okay, let me replace. Okay, so here we simply add all this record in this linked list. Now I want to iterate all record, then I want to perform some operation, I want to add some record, I want to update some record. Okay, let's do all these things. First we create a list iterator object. Okay, list iterator string. Okay, I should copy this. List iterator string li list iterator equal to ll dot list iterator. Okay, this method we use for creating this list iterator object. Okay, then we will simply create here while loop. Okay, let's create here while loop, and li dot next. Okay, next element. Okay, okay, let's first check a list iterator interface. You can see this list iterator interface extend this iterator interface. Okay, so let's check how many methods present inside of this list iterator. You can see this has a next, and a remove. This three method came from iterator interface. You can see this little bit icon, this little bit arrow icon. This arrow icon sign means this one, this all method, this three method came from parent interface. Okay, then this list iterator has their own some method also. Can see has previous, then next index, previous index. Okay, I want what next index, then I'll simply use this next index. Then I want what was the previous index. Okay, what is the previous index, then I use this previous index. Then here we have a two additional method set. If we want to update any element, then we can simply use this set. If we want to add any new element, then we use a add. Okay, so let's use a one by one all this method, and let's see practically. I'll simply use here dot has next. Okay, if next element available, then only execute this block. Okay, so we will simply first we will store string s equal to li dot next. Okay, here we get a next element value. Here first we print a next element syso, and here print next. Here simply print s. Then I'll check here, I'll check one by one condition, and I'll do some operation. If yes dot equal a, if yes value a, then simply update this value. Okay, I want update this value. So how can we update? We will simply use here li dot set. Okay, here we have here we use a set method for update that value. Instead of a, I want add here a b c. Okay, then again else if yes dot equal, if we get b value. Okay, then after b I want add some content. Okay, then I use here li dot add, and here we pass b. Okay, let's pass here b c d. Okay, this set used for update this adding a new record. Okay, this one is not updating, this one is adding a new record. Then else if yes, okay, yes dot equal, and I want to remove this c. Okay, so let's see, I'll simply use here s, okay, not s, li dot remove. Okay, here we simply replace this a and add after b bcd, then we remove this c, and okay, then I want other. Okay, then I'll simply, okay, let's do here one thing, else if yes dot equal, what is our last element, yep. If we get f, then simply when we get f, then I want check all previous element, and I want print all those previous element. So I'll simply again write here one while loop, and here we use a li dot has previous. Okay, here we use a li dot has previous. Then I'll simply first I'll print this syso li dot, okay, li dot previous value, and I'll mention here this one is the previous value. Okay, so here we simply first here we simply print all next value. Then if we get a, then update this value abc. If we get a b, then add after b a b b c d. Then if you get a c, then remove that c, and if you get a f, then print all value in a previous manner. Okay, print f, then their previous value, then their previous value. Okay, like this. Okay, let's see. I'll simply save this program and run this program. You can see this one is a continuously giving output. This one is a gone in an infinity loop. Okay, let's terminate this, and I'll do one thing. Okay, can you observe here, when we print a previous value, it will go and print a previous value, and again this has next find a next value, because this one put the cursor in a previous step. That's why this has next again get a cursor in a, again get a new value. Okay, because let's consider our cursor here, we print has next print this last value, then our cursor is here. Okay, then this while don't expect any next value, but we are running this inner while loop, and this while loop moving cursor in a previous value. In that way, our cursor again go in a first value, and again this while loop get all value. Okay, that's why we have to add here a break statement. After printing this while loop, it should be break outer while loop. Okay, I'll simply add here break, and let's save this and run this program, and let's check output. Okay, first let's print all value in a proper way, a b c d e f, whatever we insert value, that all value print. And first, because here only the first line we print all value. Okay, after printing this all value, here we add some condition. If find a, then update abc. If find b, then add after b bcd. If find a c, then remove that. If find a f, then print previous manner. Okay, first here print f, because here we are printing a previous value. Okay, then print e, then print d. Okay, you can see here don't print c, because here we removed c value. Okay, after b we here added bcd. You can see after b here we got bcd. Okay, then print b, then here we instead of a, here we update a value, and there we update a new value abc. Here you can see here we get abc. In this way we can use this list iterator for update, or we can add a new value using a list iterator. But there is only one limitation, we can use only list implemented classes. Okay, here we simply saw these three iterator. Okay, here you can see Enumeration only used with the legacy classes, and it has only two method, next element and next. Okay, then we have a iterator use with any collection class, but it has a limitation. We can only move forward direction, and we can only iterate, we can only retrieve and remove. Then we have a list iterator. With a list iterator we can perform all operation. We can move forward direction, backward direction, we can add, we can update, but it's only applicable for a list implemented classes. Okay, for this video that's it. We will see next topic in the next video. Till that, bye bye.